Recently at Rebel News, we brought you an interview with a South Surrey MLA candidate named Harman Bangu. And today I stand beside another one. This is Jason Bax, who's running with the BC Libertarians. We're going to hear why Jason thinks you should vote for him in just a moment.
They called a snap election and the voting started right away. The final day to vote is September 10th, but it started right away. It was a snap.
All right, Jason. So for people who are not familiar with yourself or even your party, let us know a little bit about what the BC Libertarians stand for.
That's a good question. The frequent answer to what's a libertarian? Are you liberals? The answer is actually libertarians are the original liberals. They're classic liberals. But a libertarian stands for the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. This is it. We stand for everything that the Charter stands for, guaranteed by the Supreme Court of Canada. We stand for your free, uncoerced choice. And we stand for the principle of non-aggression, meaning it's my body, my choice. You cannot force me to make a decision against my will. That seems to have worked well throughout history, and it's gone poorly when that principle has been broken.
Well, we've seen it broken many times over the last 2 years. So how does what your party stands for translate into why you decided to run in this by-election?
I chose to run in this by-election because in 2020, I saw that unprecedented restrictions would lead to unprecedented harm. And I was concerned that the restrictions would lead to more harm than good. How'd I do? Unfortunately, I don't take any joy or any pride in that, and I wish that I was wrong. In 2020, I called for an evidence-based return to normal. Here we are today in 2022, 2.5 years after 2 weeks to flatten the curve, and our government has made the decision to impose orders and mandates that have led to the very thing that they were trying to prevent: hospital overwhelm. We have hospitals that are absolutely in a state of chaos at the moment. We have rising hospital wait times. We have ambulances. People are waiting I just talked to a lady right now. She said she waited 5 hours. I read a story the other day that people are waiting 12 hours. Sometimes the ambulance isn't even coming to pick them up. So we have this hospital overwhelm, increasing wait times. We have
babies dying. A recent story out in Barrie, a baby just died waiting. So you're absolutely right. What would you be able to do as a voice if you were elected in these areas?
Well, two things that myself and the BC Libertarians stand for. One, we are calling for an immediate reconsideration of the health worker injection mandate. Because one of the main reasons why there is an understaffing at the hospitals and hospital worker burnout is because our province has made the decision to fire the people they've previously lauded as heroes, our frontline workers. So we are calling to rehire our heroes. That's a slogan I chose from one of the parties, one of the other advocacy groups. So that's what we're calling for. Let our health workers go back to work and get to the job of caring for people in our community, particularly in my community, all communities, because we have an elderly community in South Surrey. They need that care. Please let our healthcare workers go back to work, please. Secondly, we want to put an end to the BC healthcare monopoly. British Columbia is one of the only places in Western civilization where it is prohibited for you to pay for private medical health care. We believe that you should have a free choice. You should have a choice to pick between public health care and private, whether or not you pay out of your pocket or whether you choose medical or you have private medical insurance. That choice itself, decriminalizing, I guess, paying for private medical, would alleviate the wait list and release the burden on the healthcare system. So that's why we stand for that free choice. We stand for eliminating the BC government healthcare monopoly.
What is something specific, maybe an issue or concern that you think relates to people in South Surrey, specifically where you're riding?
Well, it doesn't relate specifically to South Surrey. I think this is a concern for everyone in all communities across Canada. And it is the rapid rising cost of living, particularly for families and people on a fixed income. This is a real concern. This is a real issue that arose because our current government, federal, is chosen to print a crazy amount of money. I know that's not specific to this community, but it is greatly affecting us. The cost of housing, the cost of food, the cost of fuel. I stand for the repealing of the carbon tax. The government cannot balance the checkbook. How can we expect them to fix the environment with a tax? I think that's ridiculous. I stand for repealing the liquor taxes. I think most people will be very, very disappointed to know that more than half the price of their adult beverage is going back into the government coffers. And what are we seeing for these things? So I'm standing for essentially basic human rights, basic dignity. I'm standing for I'm standing for lowering the cost of living through something that is controllable, that is manageable, that is lowering our taxes that are going away for services that we're not getting in return. Many people believe that. So our community is very, very concerned about this cost of living. We're very, very concerned about the travel restrictions. We're concerned about mandates that are affecting hospital wait times. I'm calling for a basic, fundamental, evidence-based return to sanity. Our government is continuing with orders and policies and mandates expecting different results. It's 2.5 years later. It's time to return to sanity.
All right. In the description box below, you'll see links with more information about this upcoming race, but let people know where they can go to find out more information about yourself.
Well, you can go to libertarian.bc.ca. There's a by-election page where you can read more about me, read more about the platform. Please connect with me. Send me a message. I would like to know your concerns. If you live in South Surrey, connect with me. I want to know what your top concern is. I want to know what I can do to help you in this community.
Drea Humphrey for Rebel News and
Jason Bax.
Well, the remains of 215 children have been found in a mass grave in Canada.
do you want to get closer to the truth about what was actually buried at Kamloops Indian Residential School last year? So do I. That's why the Rebels are doing a live screening in Calgary at Canyon Meadows Cinemas, and we want you to join us. We'll be there to watch this documentary with you, meet and greet you, and answer any questions that you have. I can't wait to see you. There's more info below.